we went to this bar in Manchester the second night. Oh no, was it the first night?
It was the second night.
Second night, right? We went to this bar and it was like this like hula bar. I don't know what the heck it was, like a pure Hawaiian theme and all. It was crap. Couldn't hear each other, so we walked out.
Night, yeah.
Went to this other bar and it was like there was this like club and then there was this other club in front of it, but it looked proper nice, like, and we were like, we'll go in here, and it didn't look too busy. We walked in and we were literally about, and we're just that used to being like, well, like to the bouncers and just walking on in, and the boy turned around, big massive boy, like the Rock, like, he just stopped and he just put his hand out in front of me, felt the sheer mass off him, like, I was like, oh, hold on boys, this boy means business. And he turned around and he was like, ID. So we all got our IDs out. I was pure shaking at this point. I was like, this boy is aggressive. I handed him my ID and he just looked at it, and then he looked at me and he looked at it. He'd done the same thing for all three of us. And what was it he said to us? He turns around and goes, here's how it's going to go. He was like, you go in there. He says, you go back, you go to the back. He was like, you find a seat, you sit in the seat. He was like, you order your drinks, you have a good time. He's like, any nonsense. He's like, I'm going to be straight in, you'll be out.
Was that the one where we were standing at the door and there was a boy getting in a taxi and he was fucking horizontal in the taxi?
That was outside. That was outside the casino.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Like the first.
I have never seen someone get into a taxi in a more awkward fucking way.
He was lying on the floor trying
His
to
ass crack was hanging out of the fucking taxi.
He just looked right. Shay goes to me, what the hell's going on there? I just look right, there's this boy like at the door trying to like clip the door, and taxi driver's looking in the background like, what the
It was
hell?
one of them black cabs, so like, you know, there's like a big open floor on them. Like, he was lying on the floor but holding on to the door, and the taxi driver drove away and the door was open, like, oh my.
Because
And
the
his ass crack
bouncers
was hanging out the side of the taxi, like.
It was like a one-way street, so like the taxi was like holding up all the other taxis, and the bouncers
beeping
were
like
going
fuck.
mental. The bouncers were like, get him in there, the fucker.
Get away.
Climbing in like this.
He was lying on the floor. I remember looking around and be like, boys, we're in a different neck of the country here. Like, what about your wee fella in the club? Your wee fella in the club, you come over to me and goes, he's got your girl tells me he's got a knife. He looked 13.
Yeah.
We
the
hoodlum,
boys
like, walked in proper, like, you know, he looked like TJ off a recess, big massive coat and all. And I remember looking around and there was another fellow with him who had like a big like football manager coat on, and he never, like, whenever your boy turned, he turned with him, so he'd always, this guy was looking out for his back.
I went down to the toilet and
Weird
I
setup.
went into the toilet and there was sort of an altercation going on, like, it was so dingy, like, because it was down in like a basement.
Yeah.
Or it was like a closed restaurant downstairs. So I went into the toilet and there was two guys sort of like, they weren't arguing, like, they were just sort of like beefing with each other. And then I went in just straight into the cubicle, locked the door, started pissing. Sort of waited till one of them left and before it came out. Then came out, and then your boy was like, oh, did you hear that cunt? And I was like, what? Like, just pretending I didn't know what was going on. He was like, fucking brought a bottle down here. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, brought a bottle down here to fucking shank me. I was like, what? And I was like, are you fucking serious? He's like, yeah, man, that's how it's got over here nowadays. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, Irish. And I was like, thank fuck, he's smelling. And then he was like, yes, that's what it's like over here now. People just want to fucking go out, like, and want to stab each other and shit. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm way back up here. So me and him walked back upstairs, and then they sat at the table beside us. And then I was like, oh, what's crack, lad? And then he was like, hey mate, see that boy at the bar there? He's got a knife. And I was like, how do you know? And he goes, I can tell. It's like proper fucking spy
But
shit.
he
Like,
looked like a 13-year-old, like.
yeah, and he
You
was
got
like,
no trouble with
watch
Winter
him.
then?
He probably owns the place. Probably some underground. But like,
got shares, like.
Shay came over to us, and Shay was just like leaning over the table and was like, boys, a bit of information there for you. And I was like, all right, what? And he's like, your boy over there in the long coat. And I had twigged on, me and you had actually said, he was standing at the bar, and whenever he was facing the bar, this other guy had his back like out to the rest of the bar, like looking. And then whenever your boy turned round, he turned round, so he'd always had like his back covered. And we had said, and Shay goes, your boy over there's got a knife. And I was like, what?
Because he was all like, look at his belt. And I was like, I can't see anything. He was like, you don't wear a belt like that to a nightclub.